Mr. Right here, and welcome to this film in which we'll run through some IGCSE standard form questions. These are all about grades 5, 6, I guess, maybe pushing grade 7. There are 22 questions in all. You can download the questions by hitting the link in the description. This is film 1, this is questions 1 to 11, and for question 12s onwards, you will need film 2. There's a surprise. Right, calculators that are ready, because remember, you can use a calculator throughout your IGCSE exam. And then let's get started with the maths. Question 1. Right, I've got to move the decimal point 3 places backwards. The first place backwards is going to hop it over the 5. So then there'll be 2 more hops, so 2 more zeros after the point before the digits 5 and 7. 800,000 in standard form. Well, it's an 8 with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeros. So it's 8 times 10 to the 5. Right, part C, if you put this expression into your calculator using your fraction button, you'll get the answer 455 with 4 zeros. Now, even though it doesn't say give your answer in standard form, if you wanted to, it would be 4.55 times 10 to the power of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 to the power of 6. Question 2, write 8 times 10 to the 4 as an ordinary number. Well, you could put that in your calculator, I suppose, or you could simply know that you had to multiply 8 by 10 4 times to give you 80,000. Part B, right, well, I put this expression here into my calculator using the fraction button, but you could put it in being careful with brackets, and I get the answer 0.0005, but I need to give my answer in standard form. So that's going to be 5 times 10 to the power of, well, if it was 5, the decimal point would have to hop back 4 places to give me that answer. Question 3, right, I've got 76 million here. Well, 7.6, decimal point goes in there, and then that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's 7.6 times 10 to the 7. Part B, I've got the decimal point here between the 5 and the 4. It needs to go backwards 4 places. The first hop is going to be over the 5, which is going to leave 3 more zeros after the point before I get to the 5. So there's my answer, question 3. Question 4. So I'm going to have 2.84. Now the decimal point was in there. I'm going to have to move it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 places. So 2.84 times 10 to the 9. And right, this is an ordinary number. Well, at the moment, the decimal point is between the 2 and the 5, and I need to move the decimal point 4 places backwards. The first hop is going to go over the 2, so there are going to be 3 more hops before it lands there. So that's my answer. Question 5. Write down the value of y to the power of 0. Well, anything to the power of 0 is 1. And now this question here, they've used large powers to try and stop you using your calculator. But actually, what you can do is in your calculator, you can put this sum here, knocking 100 off each of those powers. Now, if you put that into your calculator, you'll get the answer 3.2 times 10 to the power of 25. So the answer to this question is 3.2 times 10 to the power of 125. Just put that power of 100 back in. Question 6. Now my table's gone a bit wrong, but you can see it all right there. Part A has nothing to do with the table. You need to write this number as an ordinary number. So I'm going to move the decimal point 7 places that way. Well, 2 of the hops are going to be jumping over the 1 and the 8, leaving me with 5 more hops, so 5 more zeros. The total volume of these 4 oceans, you need to add up those 4 numbers. You can do that on your calculator, of course. And if you do add them up on your calculator, you'll get the answer 6646, followed by 5 more zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, it doesn't ask us to put that answer in standard form, but if you wanted to, it would be 6.646 times 10 to the power of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times 10 to the power of 8. The volume of the South China Sea is 9,880,000 cubic kilometres. Write that in standard form. 9.88 times 10 to the power of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's question 6. Question 7. Right, this is an ordinary number, so I'm going to move the decimal point 6 places this way. One of those places is already taken with the 7, so I'm going to have 5 more zeros. Right, this number is standard form. Well, it's going to be 4 times 10, and then I'm going to need the decimal point to go backwards 3 places. Work this out. Well, if you put that into your calculator, you get the answer 5 million. Okay, and while it doesn't say write your answer in standard form, if you wanted to, that would be 5 times 10 to the power of 6. Question 8. Right, I've got to write this as an ordinary number, move the decimal point 5 places. The first movement's going to take care of the 9, and then there would be 4 more jumps before the decimal point there. Work out this in standard form. Well, if I put that into my calculator, I get the answer 240,000. So write that in standard form. That's going to be 2.4 times 10 to the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now work this out. You can't put that in your calculator, but it's just 4 numbers multiplied together. So I can do the 3 times the 6, and then the 10 to the power of 55 multiplied by the 10 to the power of 65. 3 6s are 18, and 10 to the power of 55 times 10 to the power of 65 is 10 to the power of 120 if I add the powers, which I do when I multiply. Now that's not in standard form. It needs to be 1.8. So I've taken away a power of 10 on the left, so I'm going to add a power of 10 on the right, so the whole number keeps the same value. Question 9. Write this number in standard form. Well, it's going to need to be 8.9 times 10, and from there the decimal point would have to go backwards, isn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times 10 to the minus 5. Right, this is an ordinary number. Well, I need to take 8.34 and multiply it by 10 4 times, or move the decimal point 4 times that way. 2 of the movements are going to jump over the 3 and the 4. So I'll have 8, 3, 4, and then there'll be 2 more zeros to make 4 movements altogether. Question 10. Right, this is an ordinary number. Well, I've got to move the decimal point 3 places backwards. One of those places is the 5. So now I've got that, and then I have 2 more hops before the decimal point lands. Part B. Right, so you can put that into your calculator using the fraction function, and when I do that on my calculator and press equals, I get the answer 20 million. Give my answer in standard form. Well, that's 2 times 10 to the power of 7. Question 11. 5 times 10 to the power of 4 is simply 5 with 4 zeros. Write this number in standard form. Right, well, it's obviously going to be 6 times 10 to the power of, and it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 to the power of minus 5. Now work out the answer to this, giving your answer in standard form. Here's one you can't do with a calculator, or not so easily. So we've got 4 times 10 to the power of 512 divided by 1.6 times 10 to the power of 700. Well, 4 divided by 1.6 is 2.5, and 10 to the power of 512 divided by 10 to the power of 700, well, when you divide, you subtract the indices, so that is going to give me 512 minus 700. It's minus 188. So there is my solution, and it is in standard form. Well done. That's the first 11 questions under your belt. How did you find them? Do leave me a comment in the comments, ask me any questions if anything's unclear, and tell me how you're getting on. It's time now for you to move on through the playlist to film 2. But before you go, do hit like on this film. Go on, spread the word and give me some positive feedback. Okay, see you in part 2.